everyone. Welcome to the Kids Who Code podcast. Kids Who Code is a Bangalore-based NGO that helps kids like me learn how to code. We also get to interact with incredible people from different companies who are changing the world through technology. During the pandemic, we did not have access to computers. However, using smartphones, we continue to learn about technology and develop new skills. We are really excited to share our learnings, interests, and stories with all of you. Please join us each week for a variety of topics. Hi, this is Arfa Bushra, back with my second episode on birds. Hope you all enjoyed my first podcast on the disappearance of sparrows from urban areas. In case you missed it, please do check it out. Today I'm delighted to introduce a very special guest, Mr. Iqbal Khan. He's a very well-known ornithologist from Dras, Kargil, Ladakh. He has extensive knowledge of wildlife and is a great storyteller. Born and brought up in Dras, a small village, Mr. Iqbal in early childhood would spend time chasing birds in his backyard, observing them with his father's binoculars as he grew up. With time, his hobby became his passion. He obtained his master's degree in zoology in 2017 and is now pursuing his PhD on the Eurasian magpie of the Ladakh region. To date, Iqbal Sir has sighted over 120 bird species in Kargil and over 110 birds in Leh district. Thank you, sir, for making the time to get on a call to help me and our listeners understand birds better. I'm curious, sir.
Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share my knowledge with you all. Thank you, Arfa, for having me.
You're welcome, sir. So my first question is, sir, what is it about birds that fascinates you?
See, the question is which most of the people ask me why you love birds. So I given a very small example. When you talk about birds, birds are the most colorful things on the planet. Like we have a most beautiful flower in the world, but when in contrast to the flower, we see more patterns and coloration in birds. Like we have the birds known as Himalayan monarch, which has been known as a bird of 12 colors, right?
Yes.
So there's the most fascinating thing about a bird, which a person can perceive as a bird lover. The birds have a fascinating colorful feathers in each season, and those color has been changed each and every year. And that's the most important thing. I love birds mostly.
Yes, sir. Sir, have you noticed any teamwork among birds when they build their nest, feed their young ones? How do they communicate, sir?
Okay, so talking about the teamwork, mostly the 70% of the birds they live in pairs, right? They form a family which by which they can form nest and all, feed their youngs and raise their youngs as well. But there are some birds in which the things are little strange. Like we have the Bayak weaver. In this kind of a bird, male usually form the nest. The female are not involved in making of nest. Female are just involved in breeding and all and raising the young ones. So there are like little bit kind of a differences in each species of birds, right? So, but most of the time, birds uh, birds do have a family. They live together. They build their nest together. They shelter their nest with them, and things are like they raise their young together and they live together. And there are some birds which breed, yearly, and there are some birds which breeds for a year or which breeds for a life. It's like a Sarus crane we have. They breed for a life. It's like they made for a life. there are single male and a single female can breed up to every coming year after year. So there are so fascinating things and facts about birds to learn about.
It's
Yes.
adorable, sir. So,
Mm.
next question is, how do birds
Yes.
like owls and bats that fly in the night see in the dark?
See, talking about the bats, bats are not come in bird family. Bats are the truly mammals which can fly, And talking about the owls, we can say owls have a see see the most of the owls. When we talk about owls, the eye of the owl are the main equipments by which they can feed, by which they can hunt, by which they can see in night. See, the particular eye of an owl consists of more rod cells than a cone cells, right?
Yes.
We humans have the ratio of cone cells and a rod cell like a similar way. But in case of the nocturnal owls, they have more rod cells than cone cells in their eyes, and the rod cells, because of the abundance of rod cells, they are able to see at night, right? And they have a large eye, you know, because of which the owl have to tilt their head, not the eyes, for see the direction of the particular sight and all. So the main thing by which an owl can see at night is because of the rod cells which are present in their eyes. Yes.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Hmm.
So my next question is,
Hmm.
there are some unique and beautiful birds found in Brazil's rainforest. How is the climate change affecting them? And what are the people doing to protect these birds?
Okay. So this question is the best question, I should say. See, in Ladakh, from last 10 years, there are like a shortage of birds because the climate of Ladakh is very harsh. True, but with change in time, there are so many passage migrant has been birds are spotted in Ladakh only, not because of the harsh climate, because of the global warming. The bird which has been found in Himachal Pradesh are now shifting to Ladakh for a living or for a foraging. And these are some of the factors that the Himachal landscapes or the Himachal wetlands are not now in danger, right? So that's why the bird species tends to pass from passage from the Himachal range to the Ladakh range. And you won't believe, in 2020 as well, we spotted around 8 new species passage migrant birds in Ladakh,
Wow,
which is
sir.
a new thing to Ladakh in terms of birds sighting, right? And the bad thing which I can say by my sighting is that the particular landscape is now like that the particular foraging ground of the particular bird are now in danger. That's why they are like keep migrating from one place to another. So we have to think about it. It's a major concern. Yes.
Yes, thank you, sir. So, how many species of birds are there in worldwide, and which country has the most bird species?
Okay. So So in terms of birds, worldwide there are approximately 10,000 birds, and in particular in our country, India, there are 1,300 birds, and the country by size of it which having most birds are Colombia,
Okay.
and Costa Rica, which have the abundance of birds as compared to the size of a country, right?
Yes.
Hmm.
Do you have an interesting story to share while bird watching?
Yeah, there are so many stories I can share on birds. Like uh, since from my childhood, I was born and raised in Ladakh only. So there is a crane which has been very special in Ladakh area, it's known as black crane. See, when I was doing my bachelor's in here, then then from the first time I get an opportunity to travel 1,000 kilometers a lake. There is a lake which is also a Ramsar site here. It's known as Somoridi Lake. So when I firstly went there, I see my dream bird, which is the black neck crane, and the bird which I haven't sighted is with a two chicks, and the chick sighting is one of the best sightings till date of the entire time. There was the best thing I should say for a bird watcher to see a crane species raising their two youngs in here in the particular habitat, and that's the most joyful moment for me to share everyone. And these species are like the gems of the region. I love the most.
Okay, sir. Could you please share some tips on bird watching for our listeners?
Yeah, sure. See, when you are going for a bird watching, there is a particular time you can have and go for a bird watching. You should consider the timing of morning and the evening. The morning time is be like 9 to 11, the best timing, which I'm saying. There are some bird watchers which used to go bird watching in on 6 a.m. as well. They, these are these are like crazy things which I can share. So see, the first thing is that you have to wake up early to see the birds and to listen the songs of the bird. The song of the bird is known as the most fascinating things in the entire world. There are so many birds which sing so many different kind of songs, and there is a research going on each particular bird for its songs as well. See, and the second thing I should say for a bird watcher, not to disturb the birds by wearing a very light colored, you know, dresses like the red, like the light blue, light yellow. Do wear a camouflage dress and go in the wild, go in a jungle for a ride, for a travel, for a walk as well. You can see immensely beautiful birds in morning time as well. Yes.
Yes, sir. What a wonderful conversation this has been. Thank you, Iqbal, sir, for your time and sharing your knowledge. I thank all the listeners for joining me today. Hope you enjoyed this section. Please don't forget to tune in next week for another round of learning and fun from Arfa at the Kids Who Code podcast.
Thank you so much, Arfa, for the time and thank you for the listeners who listen to them. And I hope that you all like my, the tips and tricks for a bird watching. And if you have any questions regarding any bird issues, you can, text me up through Arfa. And thank you so much, Arfa, for giving me the chance. And thank you so much for all for listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.